Once upon a time, in a small German town called Herzogenaurach, lived two brothers, Adolf and Rudolf Dassler. They loved making shoes. The town, nestled in the heart of Bavaria, was known for its rich history and cobblestone streets. It was here, amidst the charm of old-world Germany, that the Dassler brothers' story began. In 1920, they started their own shoe company, the Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. The factory was a modest workshop filled with the scent of leather and the sound of hammers. It was a place where dreams were stitched together, one shoe at a time. The brothers worked tirelessly, often late into the night, perfecting their craft. Adolf, nicknamed Addy, was the quiet one. He was a man of few words, but had a mind brimming with innovative ideas. Addy's passion for shoemaking was evident in every pair he crafted. He believed that a well-made shoe could change an athlete's performance, and he was determined to prove it. He loved designing and making the shoes. Addy would spend hours sketching new designs, experimenting with different materials and refining his techniques. His dedication to quality and comfort set the foundation for the company's success. Rudolf, nicknamed Rudy, was the talkative one. Unlike his brother, Rudy was outgoing and charismatic. He had a natural talent for connecting with people and was always ready with a smile and a handshake. Rudy's enthusiasm for their shoes was infectious, and he had a knack for convincing even the most skeptical customers. He was great at selling the shoes. Rudy travelled far and wide, showcasing their products at sports events and trade fairs. His persuasive skills and genuine belief in their shoes helped build a loyal customer base. He knew that every pair sold was a step closer to their dream. Together they made a great team. Addy's technical expertise and Rudy's salesmanship complemented each other perfectly. They shared a common goal: to create the best athletic shoes in the world. Their collaboration was the driving force behind their company's growth. Athletes loved their shoes because they were so comfy and helped them perform better. The Dassler brothers' shoes quickly gained a reputation for their superior quality and innovative design. Athletes from various sports began to take notice, and soon their shoes were in high demand. The Dassler brothers always wanted to make the best shoes. They were constantly seeking ways to improve their products, whether it was through better materials or new manufacturing techniques. Their commitment to excellence was unwavering. They used the best materials and clever new ways of making shoes. And guess what? Their hard work and dedication paid off in a big way. The brothers' innovative approach set them apart from their competitors and earned them a place in the annals of sports history. At the 1936 Berlin Olympics, a famous American athlete, Jesse Owens, wore their shoes and won 4 gold medals. This was a monumental achievement, not just for Owens, but for the Dassler brothers as well. Their shoes had proven their worth on the world stage, and their brand was catapulted to international fame. That made the Dassler brothers famous all over the world. Their story is a testament to the power of passion, hard work, and collaboration. From a small workshop in Herzogenaurach to the global stage, the Dassler brothers' journey is an inspiring tale of two brothers who turned their shared passion into a legacy that continues to this day. At first, the Dassler brothers company was super successful. The company, founded in the 1920s, quickly gained a reputation for producing high-quality athletic shoes. Their innovative designs and commitment to excellence set them apart in a competitive market. Addy designed amazing shoes and Rudy sold them like hotcakes. Addy was the creative genius behind the operation, meticulously crafting each shoe to perfection. Rudy, on the other hand, was a natural salesman, charming customers and securing deals that propelled their business forward. Their company grew quickly and they had to build a bigger factory. The demand for their shoes was so high that their initial workshop couldn't keep up. They expanded their operations, investing in new machinery and hiring more workers to meet the growing needs of their customers. Everyone wanted Dassler shoes. Their innovative designs and superior quality made them a favorite among athletes and casual wearers alike. The brothers' shoes were seen on the feet of many sports stars, further boosting their popularity, but even though they were successful, the brothers started arguing. Despite their shared vision, their personalities began to clash. Addy's meticulous nature often conflicted with Rudy's aggressive business tactics. Addy was quiet and focused on making shoes, while Rudy was loud and wanted to be super successful. Addy preferred to stay behind the scenes, perfecting his craft, while Rudy thrived in the spotlight, always looking for the next big opportunity. They had very different ideas about how to run the company. Adi believed in slow, steady growth and maintaining high standards, while Rudy pushed for rapid expansion and higher profits, even if it meant cutting corners. Then World War II happened and things got even worse. The war brought unprecedented challenges, disrupting their business and straining their already fragile relationship. Their factory had to make boots for soldiers, which was really stressful. The shift from athletic shoes to military boots was a difficult transition, requiring new materials and techniques. The pressure to meet military demands added to the stress. The war was a tough time. Resources were scarce and the constant threat of bombings made it hard to maintain production. The brothers had to navigate these challenges while trying to keep their business afloat. It was hard to get materials and sometimes bombs even hit their factory. The war brought destruction and uncertainty, making it difficult to secure the supplies needed to continue production. The factory itself was not immune to the ravages of war. The brothers also had problems with the government. Wartime regulations and inspections added another layer of complexity to their operations. They had to comply with strict government mandates, which often conflicted with their business goals. Even though they kept their business going, the war really hurt their relationship. The constant stress and differing visions for the future of their company drove a wedge between them. Their once strong partnership was now fraught with tension and mistrust. After the war, things between the brothers went from bad to worse. Nobody knows exactly why they had such a big fight, but there are lots of stories. One story says they argued during a bombing raid. Another story says that Rudy told the American soldiers that Adi was a Nazi, which wasn't true. Even though it wasn't true, it made Adi really mad. They couldn't work together anymore. They were like enemies now. So, in 1948, they split up their company and even divided the workers. The town of Herzogenaurach was split too. Adi started his own company and called it Adidas, using his nickname Adi and part of his last name. Rudy started his own company too, just across the river. The river, which seemed like a simple geographical feature, soon became a symbol of the deep divide between the two brothers. It was as if the water itself carried the tension and rivalry that would come to define Herzogenaurach. The town, once united, now had a literal and metaphorical line drawn through it. On one side you had Adidas, and on the other Puma. This wasn't just a business rivalry, it was personal, and it affected everyone in the town. First he called it Ruda, using part of his name, but then he changed it to Puma, which sounded much cooler. The name Puma evoked images of speed, agility and power, qualities that Rudy wanted his shoes to represent. It was a strategic move, not just a rebranding. The name change was the first step in creating a brand that would stand toe-to-toe with Adidas. Rudy was determined to carve out his own legacy, separate from his brother's shadow. The brothers became huge rivals. This rivalry wasn't just confined to their businesses, it spilled over into every aspect of their lives. They competed in everything, from who could produce the best shoes to who could sign the most famous athletes. Their rivalry was so intense that it even influenced the sports world, with athletes and teams picking sides. It was a battle for supremacy, and neither brother was willing to back down. Their fight split up their family and even the whole town. Friends and neighbors who had once shared meals and celebrations now found themselves on opposite sides of a bitter divide. The tension was palpable and it affected relationships at every level. Families were torn apart and lifelong friendships were strained. The rivalry between Adidas and Puma had far-reaching consequences that went beyond business. People in Herzogenaurach picked sides, either Adidas or Puma. It wasn't just about shoes, it was about identity and loyalty. Wearing Adidas or Puma became a statement, a way to show where your allegiance lay. The town was divided, and this division was visible in everyday life. From the shoes people wore to the conversations they had, everything was influenced by the rivalry. It was like two different teams. Sports events became battlegrounds where the rivalry played out in real time. Fans cheered for their side with fervor, and athletes felt the pressure to perform not just for their team, but for their brand. The competition was fierce, and it added an extra layer of excitement to every game. It wasn't just about winning, it was about proving which brand was superior. It affected everything: parties, Even who people dated. Social events were no longer neutral ground. People would often find themselves surrounded by others who shared their brand loyalty. This extended to romantic relationships as well. Dating someone who wore the wrong brand could be a deal breaker. The rivalry had permeated every aspect of life in Herzogenaurach, making it impossible to escape. Nobody wanted to marry someone from the other side. Marriages were affected as well. Couples who might have been perfect for each other found themselves divided by brand loyalty. It was a modern-day Romeo and Juliet scenario where the Montagues and Capulets were replaced by Adidas and Puma. The rivalry had real, tangible effects on people's lives, influencing decisions as personal as marriage. The rivalry was a big deal. It wasn't just a local phenomenon, it captured the attention of the world. Media outlets covered the story, and people from outside Herzogenaurach were fascinated by the intense competition. The rivalry became a part of sports history, a legendary tale of two brothers who turned their personal feud into a global business battle. Both Adidas and Puma became really big companies, selling sportswear all over the world. Despite the rivalry, or perhaps because of it, both brands thrived. They expanded their reach, opening stores in major cities and sponsoring international sports events. Their logos became iconic, recognized by people everywhere. The competition pushed them to innovate and grow, turning them into global giants in the sportswear industry. They fought to get famous athletes to wear their shoes and tried to sell more shoes than the other. Endorsements became a key battleground. Both companies knew that having a famous athlete wear their shoes could make a huge difference in sales. They went to great lengths to secure these endorsements, often outbidding each other and offering lucrative deals. The competition was fierce, but it also led to some of the most memorable moments in sports marketing history. This competition actually made them both make even better shoes. The constant drive to outdo each other led to significant advancements in shoe technology and design. Both companies invested heavily in research and development, striving to create the best possible product. This relentless pursuit of excellence benefited consumers who got access to high-quality, innovative sportswear. In the end, the rivalry between Adidas and Puma pushed both brands to new heights, making them leaders in the industry. Adidas and Puma became famous all over the world, not just in Germany. They were really good at advertising and getting famous athletes to wear their products, especially at the Olympics and the World Cup. This made everyone know about their brands. Adidas and Puma didn't just make shoes for running, they started making shoes for soccer, basketball, tennis, and even clothes and bags. This made even more people want to buy their stuff. They became super famous sportswear companies. The brothers always wanted to make the best athletic gear, and that made them create new and exciting things. Adidas made the famous 3 stripes, and Puma made the leaping Puma logo. These brands became more than just sportswear. They became super cool and represented being sporty and successful.